Hello everyone, this is Umbra2614 and today I'm back on Nishtown server in our new spawn area. So as you can see, there is a new massive castle that was actually generated in. This is actually a very old design that I actually did a very long time ago. This is before I even used mods, I don't know, like beta 1.5 or something like that. Yeah, it's probably something like that. And you may also notice that the voice quality has changed a little bit. Well, if you read my little bio on my YouTube channel, you may have noticed that I'm a professional videographer, or editor if you wanted to go that way as well. And what's a professional without his tools? So I decided to grab out my Sony HVR V1U and use it in another way. Basically it's just direct recording straight into my computer at the moment with both video and audio, and I'm primarily going to be using the audio from it because it seems to be a lot better than the sound quality that comes out as a Razer Megalodon, for those who wonder as what headset I'm actually using. Now before we get into the video, basically this design I'm about to show you is probably into its 5th revision, I'd like to say. When it was originally done, there was a lot of bugs and all that kind of stuff, and there's been a few additions and alterations since that time. And revision 3 and revision 5 have actually been inspired by two people on the server. Damn Sky was the inspiration for revision 3, which we'll get into what the actual changes were a little bit later. And Keeney8 was actually responsible for the revision 5. A lot of the actual revisions for both of these revisions actually were basically to actually speed up the system. So yeah. Anyway, let's get right into it. So if we walk through the spawn area, you can kind of see that we've set up some signs here to try and direct a few people around, like for example the arena. You've got Quidtown, which is giving away free wool because he's awesome. Then you've also got things in here describing the market. So if we walk out here, lovely big courtyard. Could just stare at this all day. Anyway, let's run through here. So the old spawn castle, if you've been watching any of Flora Stars or Mead's Let's Plays, is still here. We're actually using this as the bank vault entrance actually, and basically we got 3 levers hooked up to this, which are hooked up to a frame door which someone left open, which is not good, and it's just basically using a double XOR gate to actually do this. Very simple circuitry if you know your redstone. Next we did the town hall, which is basically teleporters and the converters room. The converters is what we'll get into, but I want to show you something else first because it kind of ties in with it. We go over into the market, which a few people have bought some stalls now, which is good. We always encourage people buying stalls because it just makes the server awesome. And you may have noticed that Real Steel has been moved into here. Now Real Steel was a little shop that Acabane set up, and because it was an admin kind of thing and taking up a few blocks over there, we decided to, well actually no, I decided to build a building for him and he decided to move in. So yeah, this is where Real Steel is. Now because it was in this building, I was actually able to do a lot of automation with all of the trader mats actually. And this is also another reason why I wanted to move it into said building, mind you. And we'll get into that a little bit later. So let's go over to the converter. Yes, I'm flying, don't worry about it. So if we go over to the converter, we have this whole area which is sanctioned off by accelerators, just because they look awesome. Nothing else really. So we head into here and we have 4 converters. The main one which gets used the most is this. 100 industrial credits for 1 industrial diamond. Basically this is done because no one wants to carry around thousands upon thousands of credits, so we use these little converters to convert everything down. The items that are in these converters, or that we use for currency, are basically things that cannot be made by the player, so they can't renewably resource them. Now because of industrial craft not being able to craft industrial diamonds anymore. Basically, we use that as 100 credits, and and also because people can't particularly get sponge, we also use sponge for 1,000 credits. Now, you might think, well, someone could come along and use the recipe for 4 refined iron into an industrial credit. Well, that recipe has been removed on the server, so don't worry about it too much. So yeah, we got our up converters here, industrial credits to diamonds, and then 10 diamonds to 1 sponge, and then we got our down converters. Now, the first iteration of this, or first version of this, was basically just this converter here, up converters and all that kind of stuff. It was very, very buggy, and there was a kind of little bug with it where the fact is people could put in 100 cobblestone and they could get 1 industrial diamond, which wasn't that good, mind you. Yeah, so that was changed very, very quickly. Then the second revision, which was actually done about, I'll probably say an hour after this first one, was actually the down converter, which was actually realised after Nishtown and I were sitting on the TeamSpeak that we're on, and realised that there wasn't any trader mats to actually trade industrial diamonds or sponge into goods that they would want. So that's where these down converters come in handy. So if someone had converted all of their credits to diamonds, they could convert them back down. Pretty cool. Now, both of these in the second revision were very, very slow. So basically the third revision, which I'll get into now, basically was a speed up version. Now, the original converter here, which was the up converter, was still stayed the same. So basically the actual converter was exactly the same up until the 4th revision, I believe, for the up converter. And yeah, it wasn't very good. People kept on getting pissed off. I tried to speed it up as much as I could until we came up with another design in the 5th revision. Now, all the way up until the 4th, which we're actually still using in the 5th one here for the diamonds, it was using this little circuit here, where basically an item detector runs straight into a counter, and then once the counter hits that certain amount, it pulses an ejector on the other side, and then also resets itself through here. Now the state cell that's in this is basically a little, I guess you could say, trolling device. People have been calling it trolling device, but I don't like to call it that, but whatever. Basically what this does is, if there is no input within, I believe it's 20 seconds, 10 seconds, okay. If there's no input from the item detector within 10 seconds, what this will actually do is it will go around 10 seconds and pulse this, reset the counter. So what this basically does is, let's say if someone put in 9 industrial diamonds, or 99 credits as it was before, someone couldn't come along and go 1 diamond or 1 credit and they could get 1 industrial diamond, which is absolutely ridiculous. So I had to make a stop to that, and that's why the state cell was added. Basically, this is the 5th revision, which I'll get to a bit later. If we go over to the down conversion, we'll get into revision 3. Now, revision 3 made this side very, very simple. As you can see, there's not much wiring over here, which is always for the better. Because originally I had things in here which would basically, whenever it got a pulse, it would pulse a timer for 100 times or 10 times, and it would pull out diamonds as needed from a filter over in the other section. But now, basically, it's a little bit different in the fact where you only need 1 pulse, and it uses retrievers over on the other side, which are set to certain values. Now, this was a little idea that Demsky came up with, and I reckon it works pretty good, actually. It's very, very fast, and because of mag tubes, it makes it a little bit faster as well. So what this does is, once it receives a diamond in here, which it's not on the item detector because it's on the filter, once it receives a item through here, it pulses this line, which is the white, goes into a bundled cable and goes down. Same for the sponge, it does the exact same thing. Now, if we follow this bundled cable, which is coloured in ruby, just because I wanted to, it runs all the way over here to our storage area. Basically, this little storage area stores every single item that I can find, and there's also another one underneath. So all of your industrial credits that get put into the system get all stored in here. Industrial diamonds in here, and then sponges in here. And we need a lot of storage for the industrial credits because, you know, everyone has a lot of them. So what these little retrievers do is, on here, one of them is set to 36 credits, the other is set to 64. And what these actually do is they pretty much pulse at almost the exact same time. I put a repeater in there for a bit of delay, and they pull out exactly 100 from them, and they run through the mag tube all the way over into the other chest so people can get their credits out. Same kind of thing with the diamond here as well, except it's only set to 10. So nice little nifty design. Yeah. So that's the little down converter. It's very, very simple to put together as long as you've got the material. And yeah, very cool. Now, let's get into the storage, I guess I could say, because the storage was actually the 4th revision. Now, the storage was basically condensed on the 4th revision, which worked fine until I got kind of pissed off with it, and then it actually got changed into this so I can see what people are actually using. What this basically does is everything runs through a sorting machine here and then splits off as needed. Now you've also got a black line, which is anything that cannot be sorted, and that runs underneath here into another storage area, which is a bit bigger, but it stores all different kinds of ores, or ingots for this matter. Now the reason that I did actually show you real steel before was basically any ingot or anything like that that gets put up into those trader mats comes straight down into here and it gets stored. So this way the admins can actually check which trader mat is actually being used the most, and at some point we can either raise the price or lower the price if for the selling one, so people don't use it as much. Pretty cool. Now the actual pull-out system is very, very simple. Basically you've got a retriever in here which is set to pull out industrial credits from the chests up there, which is behind the trader mats. And you've also got one over here for, well, sorry, this one's your credits, the other one's the ingots, for all of the buy ones. So this one pulls out credits whenever there's any in there, so it doesn't stuff up the chest system. And they all run into the mag tubes and down into the storage system. Well, that was actually pretty much about it for revision 4. There wasn't really too much in there. It was just essentially redoing of this. Now, revision 5, the current version. Now, this was heavily inspired and thought of by Keeney8, who I believe is, yes, he's on the server at the moment. This made the up converter for credits very, very fast. Because like I said in the original one, what happened was this little counter counted all the way to 100 and then it pulsed out. As you would imagine, it was very slow. I believe Quigley31, who was another person on the server, I reckon he probably sat there for about, I don't know, hour, 2 hours while he was just converting his stuff up. It was absolutely hilarious. And if you're watching this, Quigley, I'm sorry, but yeah, at least it's fixed now, eh? Anyway, so what this actually does is, it's kind of similar but different. Basically, the filter that's in here is now set to 50 industrial credits. And instead of having an item detector, we have a regulator in here. And what this regulator does is once the regulator picks up 50 of them, it sends out a pulse into this counter. So what this counter does is it counts to 2 in increment 1 and decrement 2. So it goes through 2 and then pulses. This pulse gets sent out to the ejector for the industrial diamonds, which gets sent out to the player, and also goes through this little circuit here, which is the state cell circuit that we're using here. but it's used in a little bit of a different way. Basically, what this does is instead of actually just resetting the counter, it still resets the counter by using this line here, and also gets sent down into a retriever, which is basically hooked up to pull out the buffer slot of the regulator. So what this does is, well, if the filter wasn't set to 50, and let's say if someone put in, I don't know, 32 for example, what this would actually do is at the end of the count, which is actually set to 20 seconds, it pulses this retriever and pulls whatever is in that buffer straight out and into the thing in here. So that's another little, I guess you could say, troll device, but yeah, like I said, I don't like calling it that. I just call it safety device. Let's just do that, eh? Makes it a bit easier. Anyway, the other thing that was added was the refill system for credits in the trader mats up in here for the sell items. So these are all regulators which are set to exactly one stack, and their buffer is actually set straight to, well, it's already got 64 in there because you've got a retriever which is getting from the storage straight into here, and it basically locks up all of these things, and whenever someone buys something, it goes boom, straight back in. Very, very cool. So yeah, as you can see, that's the retriever for that over there, which is set on a little timer. Now I've had to actually reduce the timers on this because because the server was apparently coming out of under load. So that was another iteration that was put in Vision 5, is I basically took out as many timers as I could, and even connected some which needed them. So yes. So let's see if I can try and find someone to demonstrate all of this, because as much as it is good to get me to explain everything, it would be good to see it in action, wouldn't it? So let's see if I can get someone. Let's say Keeney, because you know he was responsible for the 5th revision. So let's get him over here. Where is he? Right, let's ask him and see what happens. Oh, alright, don't need to worry, here he comes. So, this is Keeney, who is one of the guys on the server, who is very awesome with red power, and yeah, he's actually doing something really awesome, which we might actually get to in a later video on the server, and yeah. I won't say too much of it yet, but it's very, very cool. I must say that. So we're going to get Keeney here to actually basically, you know, demonstrate this out. So he said he's going to go and get some items, so we can kind of see this thing in action over here now. So as you can see, he must have purchased something. So what this will actually do is, you saw the industrial credit in there getting refilled. And you can see the gold bars, which looks like he purchased some gold bars, running into the sorting machine and down into the bottom section. Now let's go over and meet him over here. Ah, come on. There we go. So, where's Keeney gone? Somewhere. I don't know where. Anyway. Let's go and watch this thing anyway. God, this is annoying. Jump over here. Alright, looks like he's buying some other stuff. Looks like he's got some iron and a few other things as well. Getting some credits just so we can demonstrate this. Which is basically just using those trader mats up the top here, and you can see him there. So, that's pretty much the retrieval system, which makes it easier for the admins because we don't have to, you know, constantly go in there and replace everything. So, comes in handy, that's for sure. Now, because of the retrievers, it actually pulls out the closest ones, so you won't be able to get all of them at once, but yeah. Originally, these were all set to filters, but It was changed to a retriever just to reduce lag because using several of them at once wasn't that good. Anyway, let's jump back out here because it looks like he's ready. So, yeah. So, he's put his credits in the chest there, and he's waiting for me, I'm assuming. So, he's put his credits in the chest there, as you can see with the crystal chest. He turns on the lever, the items go in, and as you can see the industrial diamond basically pulses twice, alright? And once it goes through here, which I think he's already turned the system off, but his industrial diamonds get chunked out basically. Then his credits go straight into the storage system, which you can see in here. So I think a few people are getting in on the action at the moment, so they want to all be on YouTube. Even Damn Sky, even though he's got his own YouTube channel. This is going to be interesting. So hang on. So we just ordered everyone to come and use the system. This is going to be interesting. So let's see. So we can still see that the system over here is pulling out ingots that people are giving me. Now if I wanted to actually improve the way that this is pulling out items, I'll just turn up this timer, but this will actually be at the cost of server lag, so it wouldn't be that good. Oh, looks like someone else is using the converter. So we got our credits going in, industrial diamond, and I missed it again. The industrial diamond comes out of that ejector. And he's walked off again. This isn't good. No. What can I do? What can I do? Everyone's using the system. I'm so happy. But the problem is I can't see what's going on. Oh no. Crap. Let's see. Can I get anywhere? Umbra. I'll do a real trial. Okay. This is what we've been waiting for. Right, so. Oh, he's doing the down converter. So, basically, what have we got in here? We have some... Oh, he's putting some sponges in. Wow. Okay, so, worth a lot of money there. So, as the thing was before, you've got all your sponges heading down into the storage system. And you can see the industrial diamonds getting pulled out in stacks of 10 over in, well, from the storage. They then get sent through the mag tube over here. And it's that bloody fast, I can't even keep up with it. But the industrial diamonds get put straight into this chest, which is now not got anything in there, which has probably pulled them out. So we got Damn Sky using the industrial diamonds converted down. So they just run through there, send out the single pulse like I mentioned before. And your industrial credits come up straight through here, as you can see in that. And they get put straight in this chest in stacks of 64 and 36 to make up 100. Very cool. If I do say so myself. Anyway. Whatever amount you want. You just got to keep in mind that any extras that you put in there will kind of get lost, but with the credits converter, it won't really matter too much now because it only pulls out stacks of 50, so we don't need to worry about it, which is good. Good. Yes, you can see my thumb on there. Yes. So we got two people using the credit system here, which is awesome. So basically what I said was, yeah, get people to use it under load so we can test everything. How do the credits to diamond to urging in so we can watch it. Looks like Keeney's about ready to do that one as well, because his down converting has been done, and they've left the systems on. Oh my god, angry. So what are they doing? Oh, we got the Cyclops on there as well. It looks like he's just trying to get on camera. Anyway. No, I missed it again. Gotta be kidding me. Come on. Okay, so he's got it on. Counts twice, pulses. And again, if he does it. Yeah, see how quick that was? My camera can't even keep up with it. The 5th revision of this was absolutely awesome. Thank you, Keeney. Thank you. Awesome work, man. See if we can catch the diamond on this. What's he doing? I don't know what he's doing. Come on. Oh good, Keeney turned that one off. Good. The only reason that I ask people to turn them off is to reduce lag. Alright, there we go. Boom. Diamond. Straight out. Look at that. He only just flipped that lever and it comes straight out. How awesome is that? Very cool. Now the good thing is with the actual thing is with this, right? If people put in, I don't know, 500 credits in there, they would get 5 diamonds out of it. That's what I really like about it. It's really cool. Cheers. So yeah, they could put in whatever amount they wanted, and yeah, they could convert it straight down, and they would get the exact amount that they're after. So yes, time for a load test. Okay, how much? Oh, hang on. How much are you putting in? Let's have a look. Quite a fair bit. So, let's have a look at this load test as we go through here. Now, you can see all of the industrial credits going straight through, pulsing the system as needed. And his industrial diamonds just keep pumping out. Look at that. And again. And again. There we go. Yeah, this is just absolutely awesome. Nice work, Kenny. Nice work. I really do like this. So the thing is with this little timer, it sends everything through at a steady pace. It's only set to 1 second, but yeah, whatever. And as you can see, everything just runs straight down into the storage system. Straight in there. Yeah. And we've also got the auto refill system on the ejector as well, which is basically pulling the industrial diamonds out of the second line, just going straight into the ejector. Very simple. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Not liking this. There we go. So yeah, it looks like he's done with that one. And yeah, that was very fast. Wow. He had a lot of credits in there, and yeah. Right, so it looks like he's going to do the diamond conversion. So the diamond conversion is still using the old way of doing it, but it still works very fast. Only because the reason is it counts to 10. So as you can see, once it gets to the thing, pulses in ejector. And you can see the states are working here as well. So it doesn't pick up anything else. Goes through, and just for good measure, it will pulse this line, which it didn't show up, but it resets this counter. Anyway, that's Keeney. So yeah, the system did pretty well under load, so I'm very happy with that. At one point we actually had a few guys trying to convert things and buying things and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it was really, really good. Anyway, this has been Umbra2614, and this has been my little converter on Nishtown server, and we'll catch you next time.